Let's try this again. I already tried this once and it did not go where well, but things are shifting a little bit more, so I thought I would try it again, just get on for a couple minutes and talk to myself like I do. It's what I do. Come on here and I talk to myself about how I feel about things. Today's been kind of a hard day for me. I talked about it in the other video. I actually deleted the other video. I don't do that. There was like a tech glitch. Like it kept saying I was live even after I quit for some time. So I killed the stream because what happened is in the middle of filming it, the thunder clapped, and then the power went out for a couple minutes. It didn't stay out, but went out long enough to freaking, when I came back to the live, it had a stream key from an old stream key discrepancy error, and I just decided that, well, it didn't really feel that great anyway. So take two. I call in today's talk regard for life. I think that is what my primary focus is on today, is regard for life. I look around and I get mad when people don't value life. It makes me angry. Hi, Brenda. You have? I've been, a buddy of mine has, his daughter has a stone shop, crystal shop here in Taos, and she gives him some sometimes, and then he gives some to me sometimes. That's what I should have been doing. Now that I think of it, I should have been having these crystals on me today, because my magnetic field is just all over the place, and I'm squirrely as hell, is what I talked about in the other video. And a lot of times, the way my frequency works is that I feel a kind of way, and then stuff happens in life, and I try not to lock on to realities that verify my feelings, because my mind can't trust my body. They're out of sync now. So there's been trust that's broken. So my body always thinks it's scared and bad is gonna happen. And then I get to use a lot of energy during the day getting my mind to tell my body that what it's saying isn't true, and that something scary isn't around every corner, even though most days I feel like it is. So I try to do the right thing. I've learned throughout the years to be physical, to get it out, I call it getting my yah-yahs out. And all my dogs are getting old, and every time something happens, is this it? Is this it? And it's getting them to the Rainbow Bridge, or knowing when, and all of that stuff with it, that I don't know. I guess I just have to trust them to tell me. So all day, I just have been, and then finally, I just have been feeling so freaking, God. My brain feels like the tuner is just going back and forth on the old radio dial. And I'm picking up all kinds of stations. And I don't want to pick up on any stations. And I did see something a little while ago, that when this happens, I like to ask God My higher power, give me verification, help me, just give me something to go on here. Give me a hint, give me a clue. And then a little while ago, this was what 5:32, so it was an hour ago. On social media, I think it was Facebook's where I found this one. It says it was on the Power Path page, and it says a bit of squirrely energy today as Mercury goes direct and opens unexpected opportunities. Stay focused on what's important to complete before moving on into the future. And then I have this other app. It's called CoStar. It's pretty cool. And it pops up about 1 o'clock. It gives me like a thought of a day, of sorts, I guess, based on my astrology. And it popped up earlier. It said, try to stop obsessing today. And so that's what I've been trying to do, is to control my mind, my thought process. And the easiest way for me to do that is just by being distracted by things. It's hard. I live in the middle of nowhere. God doesn't want me to be distracted by people. If he did, he would put more people in my path in real life. I did go into town today to walk around a little bit. I didn't even end up walking around. It just didn't feel good. Plus, they got something going on at the park, so there's no place to park, and you can't go into the park. It's just where I live. They have events. They have events for. It's not a very inclusive place. It's a very exclusive place. So they're always blocking off the park and like allowing only foot traffic. It's just you got people that don't have good ideas in charge. That's all. And then you got people that just go around thinking about themselves and what they want to do, and they're not versed for thinking about other people because they don't got no regard for life. They only have regard for their own life. And I see it every day. And I think it's starting to take its toll. I mean, I don't really need to look and see what's going on in the world because that ain't no place for me. The world is no. I mean, it's always been a weird place to me living on planet Earth. To see how people treat each other. Regard for life. Every time earlier today I watched it. I saw a reel because people are just losing their minds. I know they're feeling like I'm feeling. They just don't have positive outlets. Their mom maybe didn't teach them how to use their energy wisely. Maybe their parents did teach them how to use their energy wisely and they just went on their own way. People don't realize how fragile, just fragile your soul sack is, your body is. They just don't get it. I watched a young man. He and an old man got in a fight, a tussle. They were going to blows. And, people don't really see. I'm a peacekeeper. And all of my movement and stuff like that is to keep my joints and stuff. It keeps, because I believe people get mad and that anger turns into gases and then that sits into your body. It sits in your joints, it sits in your organs. It just anger, all that stuff, it just sits in you. And then it turns your cells, starts starts hurting your cells, the cells in your body. It starts hurting their feelings. They start dying and turning and evolving and deteriorating. So I found out a long time ago how important it is to keep your body moving. Even though my body doesn't want to move some days. It just hurts so bad. Those 8 anthrax vaccine they gave me did a real bad number on me. And I guess there's only 40% of the people left that got it that are still alive, even out of all the people that got it. I don't know. Whatever designated us to be in that control group. No regard for life. People just want to, it's all about spending these money. They'll just make them do it. Then they got to pay for it. And then we'll be rich and we can do whatever we want. And people didn't care about the consequence and how much harm that causes. Like what it does to, you trust people. You trust organizations. You trust group. You put trust outside of yourself into other people to do the right thing, and these other people have no interest in doing the right thing. Joe Dispenza, I'll check it out. Higher seeing that young guy and that old man, they got in a fight today, and then the young man picked up his bicycle and swung it at the old man, and the tire freaking hit him upside the head and freaking knocked him to the ground. It could have very well killed him. It could have. It didn't say in the clip. He was out, and it just kills me every time I see videos of this stuff. I'm like, why aren't people stopping this? Why aren't they intervening? Why aren't they getting involved? Just break it up. Just you go that way. You go that way. You don't agree. Just get away from each other. I've picked people up before that were fighting with their boyfriend and girlfriend. And that's how it escalates. That feeling, it escalates. It starts little and then it grows in people. Not everybody, because there's plenty of people that are subdued. They're freaking psychopaths. They're freaking narcissists. They don't care. They don't have feelings. They don't have emotions. They don't. They're completely desensitized. The world's full of them. A lot of them go around saying things like, I'm just living that best life. When people only care about themselves, this is the world we get. This is the world we get when people only care about themselves. I've been that 13 years. I drank like an alcoholic. I started drinking when I was 15. I should have just stuck with weed, but alcohol makes all the pain go away for a little while. And then what it does is it becomes your body's foe. It takes your spirit. It allows people to do things that they know that they shouldn't do, but they don't care when alcohol goes in. So 13 years I lived for myself. I'm just going to do what I want, when I want. And the end of my drinking, I was sober 14 years. And I went back out and drank. And after going to recovery meetings for 14 years, it really ruins alcohol. It does. I started recognizing the metaphysical parts of what alcohol did for me that people really didn't really talk about in all those church basements and stuff like that. Is that the different dimensions that it takes people. Because, I mean, it goes in your stomach, and then it processes in your stomach, and then it goes out into your bloodstream. And once it goes into your brain, it puts people's brains in a frequency, puts them on different timelines, puts them in different worlds, puts them in different realities. How many people have been a part of what's that word? Unconsensual, non-consensual physical engagements because the guy said, she wants me. And she's like, no, man, I don't want you. I don't. Oh, yeah, I'm me. And this is all because the way I look in the car I drive. Oh, yeah, because I'm me and I have such a really high opinion of myself. Of course this bitch wants me. So I'm gonna let her. And she's like, no, man, I don't want you. That is a story that goes back from his life. Alcohol was made to be a tool of divination. It was made for deception. Ask my ancestors, the Native Americans. Ask the people in the Taos where I live. Ask any tribe that has had their land stolen. Yeah, sure, buddy. Just sign it over. We'll give you all these perks and stuff. Just sign over your land. No, we're not going to do that. Here, have a drink. Oh, you're my best friend. I love you, man. Here, take my land. Fuck it. Maybe later give us some casinos, though. It's unfair. World's been unfair. Unfair. Too much unfairness on this planet for far too long. Way too much. Satan's been winning. Satan's been winning because people are freaking glorifying Satan with their free will. With living that best life. I mean, I see people freaking shooting shit in their face so they look younger, and you look like a fucking alien, dude. It's not natural. All these people going around doing really unnatural, weird stuff. And it's only going to get worse. I'm glad I live in Taos, New Mexico about 51% of the time. It's like that it's just how I am anywhere. Any place I live, there I am. And so, here, I mean, nobody gets nothing done. So it ain't like that they're going to be fucking robots and shit, you know? Like in greenhouses and in smart cities in Taos, fucking New Mexico, because, frankly, in New Mexico, they ain't that smart. Just before I started this talk, I saw a clip. New Mexico governor amends gun order to follow for firearms in most public places. Has amended her emergency public health order suspending the right to carry firearms in public. She just said, hey, Constitution, I'm going to wipe my ass with you. That's what she did. Because that's what freaking people that go around saying things like, don't you know who I am? And people that, power is such a weird thing. People that have, like, true, authentic power, they don't use it like these weirdos do. They don't use it to hinder. They use it to help. But people with self-imposed power or power that they've achieved with, like, dude, unless you have that position because you are qualified to handle things in that situation, which how many people aren't? I remember going to freaking meetings and stuff and hearing about, like, in recovery and hearing about all these people that, like, you know, I went to meetings with the cream of the crap in Omaha, Nebraska. I mean, freaking millionaires and shit. You know, I go on AA, they're not even retreats. They're not AA, they're not even recovery because retreats are separate. That's not A. But this one time I went on this, my grant sponsor was a big deal in recovery. I don't know, I guess she still is. She's been sober like 56, 57 years, something like that. She had been my grand sponsor several times because I had different sponsors. Anyway, I mean, she was like, her dad was the attorney general in the Air Force. I mean, it's all, everything is about being connected, right? And I went to this one retreat, and someone's like, you know who that lady is over there? I said, the lady that it's like talking to like a 4-year-old. That's like her mental capacity. Okay, maybe 12, maybe 12. But her, they're like, yeah, she's the heiress to the freaking where's the Wikipedia? Wiki. She's the heiress to Charles, this guy. That guy. She was like the great granddaughter of him. Charles Rudolph Walgreen. Oh my god, he died on grandma's birthday. The day that my grandma was born. He was the founder of Walgreens. So yeah. And that's something I've always noticed, and I've worked around millionaires and freaking and people that, you know, deem themselves very important people. And the thing of it is their importance is not based on anything practical. I had a conversation with the guy when I was in the Air Force. I was on extra duty because I got a DUI on base, and Sergeant Peterson, and I said, you know what the difference between military officers of high rank and those dudes on like Skid Row, like freaking pushing a freaking shopping cart, you know, talking to themselves, you know, piss on themselves and shit like that. You know the difference between those guys are? I said there's not really much of a difference, but this guy, the officer, was grown up in a bubble. He was conditioned to be that. He had more opportunity than the other guy. And Sergeant Peters said, you know what? You're right. Because their mentalities are the same. Their mentalities are the same. But one person had like somebody always looking out for him, and then the other person didn't. Well, there's more people on the planet now that don't have people looking out for them. I'm like everybody's mom. You got a coat on? You drinking enough water? You know, everywhere I go, people I don't know. You know what I mean? Regard for life. Mom instilled that in me. Huh, Mom? Value life. She couldn't walk when she was born. She was born deformed. She had 2 club feet. She didn't walk until she was 4 or 5 years old. It's with that determination she walked. And she's still, to this day, grateful that she can walk. And she's almost lost her life several times. And as a result of that, I do believe she values life. And then she's taught me. You know? And I didn't always take care of myself. I still, some days, have to remind myself to do the things for myself that I do for Mom. Because the caregiver doesn't always take such good care of themselves. So, what else? Regard for life. I'm really glad I don't have like a huge ginormous family, because it'd be hard to watch, you know, losing loved ones and stuff. There's a lot of turnover right now. So much turnover. We're coming up on the anniversary of my own sister's demise. From making, living from self will without discipline. I've been looking at different religions my whole life. Looking for my just right porridge. And I think I found, I know peace. I know peace this today. I know how to get it. It's just sometimes it's harder to work for, and I don't always keep it. That's what my goal is, to find peace and keep it. I don't know if I'll be able to do that in this incarnation. It's a tough one. So, with so many, but just run. Hold on, this song's fucking me up. Why do I even have that song? It's not even a song that I even. Sometimes I keep songs on my playlist from my egoic days to remind me where I came from. And now I hear them and I'm just like, easing God out. So I've been looking into a lot, and there's this movie on, I think it's Netflix, called PK1, or just PK. It's just, no, I'm thinking CK1. I'm getting those mixed up. PK, it's just PK. And he's an alien that crashes on Earth, and he goes around finding the God to help him get back to where he came from. And it resonated with me in a lot of ways. It's an East Indian movie, and it's in subtitles. The movie's good enough. It doesn't take away. It's not too bad. But I've been watching movies with subtitles since I was a little kid, though. So finding that just right porridge. So looking into all these religions, I'm like, yeah, okay, that works. Okay, I could do that. I could take that. But that other stuff, I can't. Like, I always had a problem with the, like, sacrificing. Like, he gave his son and the son died for sins. And it's like people have been sacrificing people ever since. And that it almost gives people permission. And that's a control thing. I don't think that's okay. I don't think that's okay one bit. And I had trouble with the drinking of the representation of the blood and the eating of the representation of the flesh, because I know, for all time, people have been doing that. There's been sacrifice, people have been doing weird shit for special knowings, and that kind of takes away from God. Like, I'm big on astrology, but I don't know my stuff so much that, like, I can pinpoint. I leave it up to divinity, the course of action in my life. There are some days that, like, I'll stay home because I know I'm just too squirrely, and I don't really need to bring my shit onto anybody else's doorstep, because I know I'm going to go out in the world, and the world isn't going to show up how I want it to. So unless I'm get to a place where whatever, I'm just hunky-dory. I'm just happy as a little freaking pea in a turd or whatever. I don't know. Mom's laughing at me. I'm just happier than a clam in a shell, if I can't go out with my mind and my body in right, then I'll just stay home. And that's just how it's got to be, So, because it's not fair. It's not fair for me to be all irritable and discontent and then freaking ruin somebody else's day. Buddy? Good boy, Tuck. My little old man. Years of love. One up there? Good boy. Good boy. Oh, good boy. Just another day I'm trying to get through. Remembering that this is just a temporary existence. A lot of times the decisions that I make aren't necessarily, for this incarnation. It's for all of them. And I think more and more people are opening up to that. Like you can't be a douche, man. You're gonna fucking get it back. It's gonna come back to you. You can't be hurting people. You're gonna end up getting hurt. Worse. I've seen example after example. It's happened to me. People, I haven't, I, Mom taught me not to be spiteful. There's still been a couple of times in my life I wanted to be spiteful because somebody hurt me. So I wanted to at least make them hurt as bad as they hurt me. And all that does is make sure that there's two hurt people in the world. And the world has enough hurt, so I can't be a part of making more hurt. Because the world is just too full of it. It has too much. There's too many people all over the place, just whether, hurting physically, they're hurting because they're sad. So a lot of people are having both, and they don't have a support system. They don't have people you can just pick up the phone and call when you're freaking out, or so if anybody ever comes across my videos and they don't got a support system, or even if you do got a support system and for whatever reason you just can't get through to them or whatever, I'm always around. Straight people like rainbows2@gmail.com. People used to send me emails more often. They don't do that so much anymore. My reach isn't very broad. I don't have a big reach. Hey, Oka, we are not made to be popular. Hi, Stanley. My whole life people have been saying, there's a place in this world for everybody. God made everybody special, and there's a place in this world for everybody. And I'm like, I feel like there's not one for me. And then I go into this place, and they're like, they talk about, I don't know, all the good things that the group is and stuff like that. And then for whatever reason, they don't want me in it. And then what happened was I just started seeing groups for what they were. I mean, there's nonprofits, there's what do you call it? There's agencies, there's offices, there's organizations, there's all these synonyms for all of these things to make sure that people are okay. Yet 2023 September 15th, I think it's Lynette's birthday. She don't talk to me no more either. And the cracks of society are wider than they've ever been. In 49 years of my life, I don't remember ever seeing cities, towns, any place in the United States, the ununited states, the disunited states. Are people still united? Are we still united? The divided states of America? The divided states. There weren't so many freaking people living on the street and stuff like that. Just thrown away. This is a new thing. I've seen and I've had a conversation with my dad at one point. My dad used to work at a Tascadero State Mental Hospital. And I remember a conversation I had with him. He's like, it's his fault, or it's who do you say was responsible for it? Putting all the crazies on the street. Geraldo Rivera. Like he had some initiative set as so all these people went out just they closed up because there's not like hospitals and places that you can go. Like you can go to a hospital, they'll put you on a psych ward, lock you to a make sure you don't hurt yourself. But like I don't even know if they have a place like that in Taos. So if the demons get you, they get a hold of you, and a place to go to freaking shake them off, I guess, or hide from them or whatever. Oh, that's right. I was talking about all the religions and how I managed to find some peace by taking the good in a lot of religion and leaving the rest of what's bullshit. It's all about what makes me feel good to be a part of the whole. If I act like an ass, I'm going to feel bad about myself. I'm not going to show up to the rest of the collective as the best version of myself. So, I got to keep myself, try as hard as I can to stay as balanced as I can, and my spectrum is broad. So, I appreciate that recommendation. I'm going to take a picture of that. Or Joe Despineza. What? Is it on? Where is he? The thumbnail I used today, thanks for stopping through, is photosynthesis. Is a picture I got of the bush in the morning with the morning dew on it, and then the sun was hitting it, and using its sun goodness with all of its on the plant, actually energizing the plant. They grow. I'm just gonna look this up and then I'll end the I'm done. I was listening to what's her name? Dex? DEXX. She's probably still talking. I'll check this guy out. He's fit and he's got a magnet. I don't know. I'm not big on manifest. I mean, no. I think manifesting is manipulation. Like, in order to make things happen, there's other people on the planet are not getting what they want just so you can get what you want. Can you get a little less of what I want? Can I get a little less of what I want so other people can have more too? I will never be rich. I never need that much. I'll just forever be giving money away. Because I don't want to be that person that feels like I'm only a the value of my worth is contingent on the balance of my bank account or the kind of car I drive or the house I live. Dude, in this day and age, I'm just happy to have a roof over our heads. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people out there on the mesa right now, and they don't got no roof over their head, and winter's coming, but there's too many people that have their little horsey blinders on. Everybody else that's their problem. They made the choice. You know what? I didn't make the. God just got us here, huh, Ma? So why should I? Well, I mean, like so many people are like, I want to live here. I want to live here. I want to have this house. I want to have this car. I want to marry someone that looks like this. And then we're just going to do this. Like they plan out their whole life. And then it fits. It falls into it. There's a lot of other people out there, they plan out their whole life. Boom. Nope. That didn't work out. I wanted to do this, but the other people that I needed to cooperate with me in order for me to do this, they didn't want to do it. So I didn't get to do it. You know? It's weird, huh, Ma? That's about all I got for now.